everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we're just going to be making an abstract matrix background on a loose piece of paper, playing around with the new Dina Wakley scribble sticks. So this is on a loose piece of craft paper and it's just using the scribble sticks and just having fun with them. So I was scribbling them out, seeing what happened, activating them with the water. You can see when you do that they dissolve really easily. And dissolve into the background. Then I played around with dissolving them with some gesso as well. So because they are water reactive, it's not just water you can use with them. Anything wet, so gel medium, gesso, will activate these scribble sticks, which is a really fun thing to know. So this is the way I tend to, I suppose, swatch, is just to play with them. And quite often I'll do this in my journal, but in this case I had the craft paper there and I thought it'd be really cool because it'd make a really cool background for my 100 days project where I'm playing around with making ACTs. So I could chop this up into pieces once I was finished if I wanted to, but it just gave me this opportunity and a little bit of freedom, I suppose, that I could play around with this and not worry about what it looked like, because it didn't matter really. It was going to be chopped up in the end, so I could do whatever. You can see me poking through my stencil stash to try and get into my stencils. Just going in with a little bit of a darker colour now. I think this is Sapphire. Just to balance up my page a little bit, and I've got the lovely squovels from the Dina Wakley. They're an old stencil, but they're really handy. It's just a nice chunky stencil that you can get some really cool effects from. So you can sort of see all these layers building up again. And then I'm going back in with my scribble sticks where it's slightly darker and colouring in some of the areas that I've just wiped away, just to give a bit of a sort of see-through effect. Because I had paint left on my palette, because this is what I do, I paint it all down. So nothing goes to waste in the Baly household. When it comes to paint, it's all used. Now I'm going in with a little bit of mustard and using my credit card to spread it out. So again, using some different tools to get paint onto a page, I suppose. Then using my wet wipe to wipe away to get the patterns on the page. Can't remember what I'm saying. I was finding it was a bit too dark again, so I'm going in and putting in some white, which I suppose for a lot of people go, oh, but you've just covered up all your background, which yeah, I have, but you know, it's all about layers. I can add layers, I can take layers away, I can re-add layers, so it's just about playing around until you're happy with it. So I'm adding in some of the, I think that's raspberry and malachite, and then I'm putting some neon yellow over the top, heating it up. I've lost all those lovely squares and squovels. I actually really liked that effect in the background, so I know that, and I might go back and add that in again. I have decided though I'll get out my chunky, what you call them, Stabilo woody pencils. So that's a kid's version of the Stabilo oil pencil, which I'm using to put a little bit of black in. Then I'm doing some scribbly writing over the top, just to balance up a bit. It got a bit yellow, so I'm going back in with some of that blue again. So just scraping it on. I wasn't necessarily loving the scraped on effect, so I'm just going in with my paintbrush, and then I'm adding in a little bit of white to not dull it down, but just to change the tone of it somewhat, so it wasn't so in your face. Then I'm going in with the dotty stencil and rubbing some of it away, so you're getting these cool effects in the background as well. If you find it's not rubbing away, you just need to scrub a little bit harder. When you're doing that, you probably do need a little bit of a you don't want a really juicy wet wipe to do that. So it needs to be damp, but it doesn't need to be soaking, because you'll find it gets too watery, and then that's when paint will sort of flow through and go into places that you didn't want. Decided then I'm going to do a little bit of mic making over what I've got with my mustard paint. Sorry, trying to think of the colour. So while I'm layering all this up, I'm not introducing too many new colours. There are a lot of the colours I have used previously or shades of those colours. So there is a lot of blue, yellow and pink happening on these pages, even in those underneath layers. I did have that orange, which has sort of disappeared somewhat. Hopefully I'll bring that in at some stage, but yeah, it tends to be sort of colours built on top of each other. A little bit of a sprinkle of a black over the top to help balance out that black writing as well. So with this, you can sort of see I'm sort of stopping, thinking, what do I need to add? Because I've got the circles happening, I'm going to put in some white circles now with my pigment pad. I'm also putting in a little bit of writing in the white, which balances up that writing in the black. So thinking about how it will all tie together. At this stage, I got a bit invested in how it looked as a whole piece. In reality, I'm going to be chopping this up into ACT backgrounds, so it really doesn't matter. You don't need to be too particular about it. But if it's not working for you, just keep adding more layers. And that's what I did. You know, I didn't like something, so I add another layer. And oh, I like that, so I'll add something different to balance that out. And that's how it works in the end. It's just about being brave and taking that next step. And sometimes we stop too soon. So if you really don't like it, add something else before you decide that you're going to leave it and not like it anymore. Until next time, bye for now. Thanks.